Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another story. Today we are going to read Thunder Cake by Patricia Polacco. I love this author a lot. Oh, yes. On sultry summer days at my grandma's farm in Michigan, the air gets damp and heavy. Storm clouds drift low over the fields. Birds fly close to the ground. The clouds glow for an instant with a sharp crackling light, and then a roaring, low tumbling sound of thunder cakes makes the windows shudder in their panes. The sound used to scare me when I was little. I loved to go to Grandma's house, Babushka, as I used to call my grandma, had come from Russia year before. But I feared Michigan's summer storms. I feared the sound of thunder more than anything. I always hid under the bed when the storms moved near the farmhouse. This is a story of how my grandma, my babushka, helped me overcome my fear of thunderstorms. Grandma looked at the horizon, drew a deep breath, and said, "This is thunder cake baking weather, all right. Looks like a storm is coming to me." "Child, you come out from under that bed. It's only thunder you're hearing," my grandmother said. The air was so hot, heavy, and damp. A loud clap of thunder shook the house and rattled the windows and made me grab her close. "Steady, child," she cooed. "Unless you let go of me, we won't be able to make a thunder cake today." "The thunder cake?" I stammered as I hugged her even closer. "Don't pay attention to the old thunder. Accept how to see how close the storm is getting. When you see lightning, start counting, real slow. When you hear the thunder, stop counting. That number is how many miles away the storm is. Understand?" she asked. "We need to know how far away the storm is so we have time to make the cake and get it to the oven before the storm comes, or it won't be a real thunder cake." Her eyes surveyed the black clouds way off in the distance. Then she strode into the kitchen. Her worn hands pulled a thick book from the shelf above the wood stove. "Let's find a recipe, child," she crowed as she lovingly fingered the grease-stained pages into a creased spot. "Here it is, thunder cake." She carefully penned the ingredients on a piece of notepaper. "Now let's gather all the things we'll need," she exclaimed as she scurried towards the back door. We were by the barn door when a huge bolt of lightning flashed. I started counting like Grandma told me to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then the thunder roared. 10 miles. It's 10 miles away, Grandma said as she looked at the sky. About an hour away, I'd say. You'll have to hurry, child. Gather them eggs careful, like she said. The eggs were from mean old Nellie Peck Hen. I was scared. I knew she would try to peck me. "I'm here. She won't hurt you. Just get them eggs," Grandma said softly. Then lightning flashed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I counted. 9 miles, Grandma reminded me. Mike was next. Mike, the old kick cow. As Grandma milked her, Kick Cow turned and looked mean right at me. I was scared. She looked so big. Zip, the lightning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I counted. Baroom went the thunder. 8 miles, child, she croaked. Now we have to get the chocolate and sugar and flour from the dry shed. I was scared as we walked down the path from the farmhouse to Tanglewood Woods to the dry shed. Suddenly the lightning slit the sky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I counted. Boom, ba-boom, crashed the thunder. It scared me a lot, but I kept walking with Grandma. Another jagged edge of lightning flashed as I crept into the dry shed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I counted. Crackle, crackle, boom, kaboom, the thunder bellowed. It was dark and I was scared. "I'm here, child," Grandma said softly from the doorway. "Hurry now, we haven't got much time. We've got everything we need but the secret ingredient." "3 overripe tomatoes and some strawberries," Grandma whispered as she squinted. squinted at the list. I climbed high up on the trellis. The ground looked a long way down. I was scared. I'm here, child, she said. Her voice was so steady and soft. You won't fall. I reached 3 luscious tomatoes while she picked the strawberries. Lightning again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I counted. Kabing! Baroom! The thunder growled. We hurried back to the house and the warm kitchen and we measured the ingredients. I poured them into the mixing bowl while Grandma mixed. I churned butter for the frosting and melted the chocolate. Finally, we poured the batter into the cake pans and put them into the oven together. Lightning hit the kitchen. I only counted 3 and the thunder rumbled and crashed. 3 miles away, Grandma said. And the cake is in the oven. We have made it. We have made a real thunder cake. As we waited for the cake, Grandma looked out the window for a long time. Why aren't you afraid of thunder? Why, you aren't afraid of thunder. You're too brave, she said as she looked right at me. I'm not brave, Grandma, I said. I was under the bed, remember? But you got out from under it, she answered. And you got eggs from mean old Nellie Peck hen, and you got milk from old Kick Cow. You went through Tangleweed Woods to the dry shed. You climbed up the trellis in the barnyard. From where I sit, only a brave person could have done all them things. I thought and I thought and I thought as the storm rumbled closer. She was right. I was brave. Brave people can't be afraid of a sound, child, she said, as we spread out the tablecloth and set the table. When we were done, we hurried into the kitchen to take the cake out of the oven. After the cake cooled, we frosted it. Just then the lightning flashed, and this time it lit the whole sky. Even before the light had flashed, the even before the last flash had faded, the thunder rolled, boomed, crashed, and broomed just above us. The storm was here. Perfect, Grandma cooed. Just perfect. She beamed as she added the last strawberry to the glistening chocolate frosting on top of our thunder cake. As rain poured down on our roof, Grandma cut a wedge for each of us. She poured steaming cups of tea from the samovar. When the thunder roared above us so hard it shook the windows and rattled the dishes in the cupboard, we just smiled and ate our thunder cake. From then on, I never feared the voice of thunder again. And here's Grandma's thunder cake. Thank you so much for listening. See you next time.